Okay. Denver Broncos, my live view for the third time. Maybe it's a charm. No commercials, no bullshit. The unofficial authority on the Denver Broncos. We get it right when everybody is in damage control, spin doctoring, turd polishing, excuse making, giving bad information. We break down film. There's no mystery. These 2 weeks in the NFL is no mystery to us. Things are becoming more and more apparent. I'm going to let you go ahead and do it for another round. See if we can get this right.
Okay, so there are a bunch of media outlets in Denver that are saying that, and nationally as well, that are saying that the Denver Broncos were going to go in and show the Texans and go in and show Seattle. Denver Bronco fans and Bronco people that follow it, you guys better take a good hard look on who you're listening to, because they have no idea what they're talking about. Me and this guy watch film. Oh, well, film doesn't matter. Okay, film doesn't matter, right? But if you go to our pregame, this game turned out exactly like me and this man said it would. Broncos would win in a close game. We also warned you that this game could be like a la Pat Shurmur ball in certain aspects of this game, and we'll get into that later. But I would just be very, very careful on which Bronco channel you're listening to and what Bronco people you're listening to and what national media as well. Because for how many years is this going on? 7? 7 years in a row. I have Joe Flacco in New York beating a good Browns team who actually played really good behind a good offensive line, right? I'm not mad anymore. I'm just, I'm not shocked from what I've been seeing. We told you the defense is in for a long season. Oh, wait till next week. You think this week was bad? Wait till next week.
They think that was the bright spot. I'm sure they look at the score and they say, "Oh, that's the bright spot. That's the bright spot."
Well, they have no idea what they're talking about, because they would say if we still had Jerry Jeudy and Patrick Surtain, we would have destroyed the Texans.
Yeah, I know it's this.
I'll let you take the floor, but man, we were told how wrong we were for a 7th off season in a row, and take it away.
Okay, first of all, this has very little to do with Russell Wilson. This has very, very little to do with Hackett. 2 people who inherited a team that wasn't what it was sold as, because they don't have the player personnel to stack up. Okay. What I don't understand, I don't understand either team on this. I don't understand the Texans, and I don't understand the Broncos. As we were watching this game, me and you were saying, you got to get to this run. You got to get back to that run. You got to get back to that identity that you had in Seattle, and not bombs away, bombs away, bombs away. And you had the national people who don't know a lick of what they're talking about. Willson, you got to run around like a chicken with your head cut off. That was one of the suggestions. The other was bombs away, bombs away. And we were like, no, you've got to get your identity back. You are a running team, and everything is built off the ring for running off for Russell Wilson, off the run. Now, when Denver had their scoring drive, Wilson was in the pocket. They used a lot of running to set up throws, and he stayed in the pocket, just like we've always said. I also want to say this about the defense. This only 9 points. Look how great this is. I want to start off by saying, when the opponent goes after your star player, in this case Surtain, right as soon as the whistle was blown, they're on that guy and having success with it. And you have problems across the board. Now, what the Texans did that was successful, and again, I don't understand why teams get away from what works. We saw the Broncos getting away from what worked. Bombs away, didn't work. They're in this dogfight. Then they finally get and establish the run. They score. I don't know how hard this is to figure out. Texans, they were utilizing their tight ends against the linebacking for the Denver Broncos. It was a surefire go-to game plan. That worked. They didn't have an answer for.
Which I said would happen in this game.
Yeah, and they also got away from the running game. That was also set up by the running game, too. So I just don't understand why people get away from what works. I just don't get it. So, this isn't about Russell Wilson. This is about a team that's been mismanaged for 6 years, now 7. Yep, now 7. I would like to see. Now, I think the Broncos could offensively at least hold their own, keeping, like, say, for instance, like, say they play Kansas City, who look pretty damned impressive. And I don't think that Kansas City offense is going to have any problem shredding that Denver Bronco paper tiger defense. But if we're just using Kansas City here, it could be the Bills, it could be any of these top-notch teams, could be Tampa. If you're Hackett, you're going to want to stay on the field as long as you can. I think that you have something with your running game and setting up the passing game. This isn't about Russell Wilson. You're only as good as the army you bring into battle. If you think you're gonna throw it and throw it with that offensive line, which started to collapse, you got to help that offensive line out again with the running game. So those are the things we talk about. We talk about reality. We don't look at film, don't listen, except for we would suggest not to listen to all those people who got it wrong for so long. So, what I saw, Jerry Jeudy, in my opinion, what I said in the pregame is that he did match up, but the guy's a porcelain doll. I would much rather see Tyree Cleveland take over that role and develop, again, but everything has to predicate off the run. Remember how they said Schobert was such a, not the defensive guy, but the tight end?
He's the best tight end on this football team.
Well, no, but they said, remember all the days that they, get rid of him. Yeah. And we said, no.
Yeah. How's Greg doing?
Say it again.
How's Greg Dulcich doing?
He's in the hot tub with a lot of other people.
With Nick Burrito?
Now, I think they could have. Now you'll say, well, look at Gregory. He had one play. And Draymond Jones, because Gregory's taking double teams. I saw the double teams. Is getting in there once in a great while, which, it's too much money for Gregory. And all Texans had to do to eliminate Gregory was not do his rush imitation. Send those tight ends out, send the tight ends and just get rid of the ball quick. Send the tight ends in the linebacking. And this is not a coverage linebacking crew. And I'm going to say this, once some team figures it out that they need to stick to that, I think it's the other way around. Then you can pick on the other guys, but I think when you attack that middle, and I think that team that figures that out, they're going to have their way with that defense.
I think what you're going to see that next week with San Francisco,
because they
Jimmy G
don't
now
shy away from the tight. They don't shy away.
No, well, they have Jimmy G back there who wants to utilize the middle of the field and utilize the tight end room. So does Kyle Shanahan when he's in there. So.
Yeah, they're not going to screw around. That's where the film definitely shows that and that Texans should have stayed. That's what Seattle should have done too. They got away from that, and I understood Metcalf. There was no answer for Metcalf. I mean, Surtain. There was no. I mean, I get it. It's tempting because you know that they can't stop you. So don't get into false hope with this defense. You are not going to the Super Bowl. That should be well established now. Am I wrong or right?
You're absolutely right. There shouldn't be any ifs, ands, or buts on that. Me and you have been saying that since day one, even before they got Russell Wilson. So I don't want to hear the excuses anymore. I don't want to hear it. If I hear any more excuses, seriously, like it's shitting, it's crapping excuses right now, and it's getting ridiculous and out of hand for a team that you want to laugh at the Raiders for blowing a 20-some point lead at the Cardinals. Okay, go ahead. But you almost lost to a bottom feeder team in the Texans. And you know what? This is what me and you have said for the past year. I thought this was going to be a good game because you had two you had two middle of the pack teams.
Muddling teams. Yeah.
Muddling teams. You had two muddling teams in the middle. It just, a win's a win, but it's the people that say we don't have an identity on offense. You do. You just refuse to look at it, and you guys refuse to accept that it's the running back crew. You guys refuse to accept the fact that if you stick to the run and you do play action and get the pass off of that, it will have success. It's shown that over the first 2 games of the season, and you guys refuse to look at that. You guys refuse to look at it, and it's getting really, really annoying because you guys say we don't even have an identity on defense. I don't even know what our defense is. Our defense is probably going to be one of the worst in the league, maybe the worst in the league at the end of the year. It's going to be that bad.
Yeah, I just like I said this too, that you were saying, oh, that call didn't, that wasn't a right call that the Broncos got. That wasn't. I said, no, those were right calls. But the call that I believe that wasn't right was the holding when the Texans were on the march, and they were definitely going to score. There was no doubt because they had no answer for it. The ref had to come in, and it was a bogus holding call. That call was totally bogus. I believe it would have been 16. Was it to 3 at that time? Or was it 6? 16 to 3 or 6?
It would have
What's
been
that?
6. It would be 6.
So 16-6 by that time.
Correct.
I believe they dodged a huge bullet because of that. And again, the Texans taking themselves out, not game planning correctly. And I think you're right. I can't imagine that San Francisco won't just clobber them with their tight ends and just relentlessly do it nonstop. I think they're going to hit a much better offensive line than what they saw with the Texans. I'm guessing. Okay, you have to say all that again.
They're going to hit a much better defense.
But much better defense. Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, and I think and then Jimmy G's had a game under his belt already. He's going to have some reps. It's going to be Jimmy G ball. I think they're used to that guy, and I think that you said something about, and we're doing a pregame, and I don't really mean to, but you said something about Jimmy G was what with him in the game.
The offense looks completely different. They have more rhythm. They understand their play assignment. They know what to do when Jimmy G's in there. I like Jimmy G. I think Jimmy G is one of the most disrespected quarterbacks in the league, just due to the fact that you put him in the right system. He's like Teddy Bridgewater. You put a team around him, he looks very, very good, and he looks very, very competent. And I'm telling you right now, this year, I told you guys, I told you, you were telling me, oh, are they going to get back to the running game? I said no, because I don't trust this organization. I don't trust this organization I don't even trust it. Okay. So I understand where you're coming from. You like to see the identity because there's clearly identity just sitting out there in the middle of nowhere that you can pick up and run with it. But the Denver Broncos won't do that. They'll run Shermer ball. They'll run Hackett ball. It's a mismatch of systems all over again. It's the same what we've seen for the past 3.5 years. The same mismatch. And look at Russell Wilson. He's suffering from that. And also, you say he want to run around with the chicken with his head cut off. Look what happened when he was actually standing in the pocket and delivering throws. He looked much different than running around. A lot more free runners, too, by the way. I want to point out. Looked like Pat Shermer 2.0. But you're evil for saying that.
They can say they can say all this stuff. Fire the coach.
Fire the coach after 2 games?
But exactly. So, but you have to say Super Bowl. You're just not legitimate unless you say Super Bowl. Can I just say this? Don't you think it's time to stop saying we're going to beat somebody's ass? Are you guys going to now go and pound your chest? Okay, San Francisco, you watch us. We're going to come here. We're going to kick your butt. Can they please stop embarrassing us? You got to show it on the field. You talked your talk on the off season. It's time for show what you got on the field. Stop
For
with the,
7 for
what's that?
7 years.
7 years?
For 7 years, you've been oh my God, we're Russell Wilson away, or Aaron Rodgers away. You're 1-1, and you're close to 0-2.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Oh, but why are you being so negative? It's not being negative. The different. I know we're gonna hear that. The difference between being negative and being right, I would rather be wrong than right, because I'm tired of being right. Because at the end of the day, I want the Denver Broncos to succeed. But here's where I get frustrated. When I have to hear excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse after excuse of, if we had Patrick Surtain and Jerry Jeudy, we would have dominated this game. That's not true, because the Texans were attacking Patrick Surtain frequently. Number two, Jerry Jeudy is a soft player. I've been saying that ever since he's been coming out of Alabama. He's a soft player. He can't stay healthy for a 17-game season. You just have to accept the fact. You passed up on other players like a Justin Jefferson, who could have been a very valuable piece in the slot for you. You decided to go for the reach and a John Elway type player. That's number two. Number three, yeah, Draymond Jones looks good. Where was he last week against that offensive line? A much better offensive line in Seattle. Where is he going to be next week against a better offensive line in San Francisco? Where is Draymond Jones?
Where's Gregory going to be?
Next? He's going to. We were right. We were right saying that you need to put Gregory on that Howard guy. We were right on that. So we say that.
Yeah, we did. He said that would be the person to put Gregory on.
Because you know why we got that right? Because what do we do?
Watch film.
No, but film doesn't matter. It's all about stats. Quarterback stats and all that bullshit.
Yeah, stats with no context to it. So,
I mean, you watched the game. You watched the game. What was clearly working for the Denver Broncos? The running game, the running game, the running game, the running game, the running game. And the Texans, Houston Texan fans, you need to fire your offense coordinator, Pep Hamilton. Mm-hmm. Fire him.
Yeah.
Fire him. Because if you can't understand what was working for you, especially the tight ends and the running game and the pulling, and you go away from that and do you want to be just like the Denver Broncos, Pat Shurmur ball.
Yeah.
And then look what happened.
I get it. I just don't get it. Get away from what works and what in your identity. I don't know what gets into coaches. I just don't know.
And can we please get off this Justin Simmons bandwagon? Because I saw a guy in Caden Stearns who looked like Chad Stearns, who looked a lot better than Justin Simmons.
I do want to say this, though. There was some Justin Simmons habits I saw.
But it wasn't as frequent as Justin Simmons is out there. And they weren't attacking his side of the field as often. They were attacking Kareem Jackson's side of the field.
Well, this is what's scary. This is what's scary to me. When your starters are a liability, Surtain, they come right in and start doing that. Jeudy, a porcelain doll,
middle, please. Can we get over the experiment? Can we please put Baron Browning back in the middle? Because when he was rushing right up the middle of the defense or the offensive line, look what happened. He was able to pressure.
Okay, so Jerry Jeudy, again, I said, what was it? I said your starter, Surtain, then Jerry Jeudy, porcelain doll. I thought he matched up real well, and then Justin Simmons, who I can't even understand how this guy's a starter. I mean, just after watching Seattle, I'm convinced he was benched. I mean, I probably just wishful thinking. His game was that bad against Seattle. It was wretched. And now let's get to Browning just really quick. His success came when he came up the middle, when he came up right into the middle. That's where his success was, each and every time. Who got that right? Oh, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know.
Yours truly.
Yeah. I don't know. Just watching film, I guess. I don't know.
No, because we have no lives.
So,
I'm sorry.
Playing these two teams have given, I think, people a false idea of what this defense is. This is what it boils down to. 7 years of mismanagement. Go back to that Bills game in the preseason. You don't have the player personnel. Again, I see a team muddling in the middle. Could they beat the Raiders? Yeah, they could. If the Raiders aren't beating themselves, are they going to?
Chargers, maybe if they start beating themselves and they give the Broncos opportunity off, maybe. But I'm not going to. Again, we saw this last year. We saw this same exact, we saw the same exact putting of a team last year, where against horrific teams like the Seattle Seahawks, who got destroyed by a good team, against the Texans, we just. It's frustrating because Pat Bowlen wouldn't be putting up with this crap. And you did see Rob Walton, you see Penner, you saw them today. Okay, wow. Those courses of booze on Nathaniel Hackett, that's what's going to get him fired. If you think that getting rid of Nathaniel Hackett is going to solve all your issues on this team, you have another thing coming, because you have Melvin Gordon continuing to mess up on there every quarter, but it's not on a consistent basis, and that's wishful thinking. Draymond Jones is an inconsistent player. DJ Jones, who got that right? DJ Jones, the guy who watched film, who got DJ Jones right? Yours truly.
He didn't do anything today. He didn't do anything today.
Anything today? Yeah, he was set in the line of scrimmage while Draymond Jones and the other guys were benefiting off of that. Okay, watch the film. Alex Singleton, you cut him and then you bring him back.
You had to.
What I don't understand this logic, because Josie Jewell's hurt still. Look how that's turning out. 2 years, $12 million to a guy who's been injured for 2 weeks. Where's Billy Turner? What did I say coming into the season? Knee problems? That it wasn't going to. Oh, no, that's not going to be an issue. Off season, all the hype in the world. Oh, Billy Turner's going to play. He's out 2 weeks.
The Broncos and the Texans have something in common.
They're mismanagement.
They got right tackle issues.
Well, they got right tackle issues, but I think they are so depleted in player personnel, it's not even funny. You got the Texans right here, then you got the Denver Broncos just right there, slightly above them. And you're going to sit there and tell me this was a Super Bowl caliber roster? You're going to sit there with a straight face while the national media is pumping out all the John Elway Kool-Aid. And you're going to sit there, a guy who actually dedicates his time, and this man dedicates his time to film, and the track record speaks for itself. You're going to sit there and tell me that this team is a Super Bowl caliber team. We're going to host the Bills in the AFC Championship, and the AFC Championship game this year.
They're not going to sniff it. They're not
going to sniff it. I wouldn't be shocked if they even sniff the playoffs at this point, because it's that bad. It is that bad. I'm not saying it's all doomsday, but my goodness, what did we say in our pregame? Everyone go watch the pregame. What did we say? We said the number one thing that would play into the Texans' hands is playing what type of ball? Pat Shurmur ball.
Yeah.
And they did that. And it took them 3 quarters to figure. We did this with Pat Shurmur. We've done it with Pat Shurmur. This is why I don't trust this organization, because when I first started doing this videos with you, I said I don't trust Pat Shurmur. And look what happened during the Atlanta Falcons game when I was saying, hey, this is what I saw in film, this is what they need to do. They finally did it. It took them 3 quarters to figure it out, and then they ran with it. And then you had the polar opposite with Hackett, where, oh man, Pat Shurmur's off. Oh, I got to listen to what the toxic fans and what the media is saying. I got to throw it deep. And it didn't work. But when you were running the football,
the toxic media.
Exactly.
The toxic media that fuels those fans. It fuels those fans.
They need to cut the head off that, because they need to get that out of here.
So
I'm tired of it.
I think Nathaniel, this is where I'm coming from. Hackett's got to get rid of that Elway stench. He's got to get the Elway stench. It's going to take a while. He's got to get the Elway stench out of the organization. I know he knows what needs to be done, at least offensively.
Who, Hackett?
Yeah. I think
Okay.
he knows offensively what needs to get done. Unfortunately, that Elway stench is still there. That's where you get into the Shermer. Yes, there was an issue with the time, and I think that's something, again, that's the least of their worries. As far as I think you got such player personnel problems that you have to play again. You can only go to battle with the soldiers you got. So they need to stay out on the field as much as possible this season offensively. That's going to be their best defense, in my opinion. When you go to Kansas City, when you go to the Ravens and all this, and by the way, who liked Tua? Who liked Tua? Who liked Tua? Who is saying that Tua is going under the radar?
This man right here.
Do you see how he did that against the a great Ravens defense?
Yeah, because they gave him time to read the field. Look what happens. Look what happens when you give a quarterback time. Who said that Joe Flacco Joe Flacco. Joe Flacco. Everyone just, he sucks. He's a statue. You see
I
what he did?
said you cannot bring him in because you do not have the type of offensive line to get the most out of him. You don't know what you're talking about. He comes, he's the worst thing ever. No, you just now look at what are they saying about Russell Wilson right now? Go ahead.
Well, what they're saying and what these toxic people are saying in the media, to toxic media, they're saying that we're not getting the same investment on our return as we hope for. Well, you paid the man $250 million before he took a snap. That's number one. And you gave him a 5-year extension on his contract. You have so much dead cap and guaranteed money towards this one player. You think this year's bad? Ladies and gentlemen, try being a Nebraska Cornhusker fan for once in your life. Try being a freaking Husker fan.
Hold on. Let's go back. Let's go back to the Broncos here and Russell Wilson. You have 6. What did we say when this deal with Russell Wilson came down? What did we say? You had 6 years of mismanagement. You had 6 years of mismanagement. You do not have the player personnel to put around him. So you all wanted to put the cart in front of the horse. So stop blaming Russell Wilson. He inherited this mess. Hackett inherited a mismanaged mess. You don't have the player personnel, period, end of story.
Yeah, we're done with the excuses. I'm done with the excuses. We're done with it. I'm done with it.
What they have to do, they have to start getting their head out of their ass and realize what their identity on offense is.
Because they have an identity. The people that are saying that they don't have an identity is bullshit. They do. They just don't want to do it.
No, they want Shermer football. That's
exactly.
And that was always Elway's. It was never Fangio. That was always Elway, and Elway's posse of former players was pushing that shit. Okay, this is a new era. Get the Elway stench out of the room, and you got to start helping that quarterback out. You have at least 2 decent running backs, one better than the other one, of course. The other one I don't think should have been there, but you're stuck with him. Again, I know. Again, if we could get the Elway stench out of the room, we wouldn't have that problem. But utilize the running backs, utilize the tight ends, use that to set up the home run balls for people like Cortland Sutton, who's not injured. Start playing smarter, not stupid, toxic, Elway, Shermer. You got to get away from that. If they don't, it's going to, there's no reason.
I already think it's going to be a long season. That's just from my assessment, what I've seen from this team. That's number one. Number two, you miss Fangio yet as defense?
They only scored how many points? 9 points?
Yeah, but they're still going up and down the field. And if you're facing a San Francisco team, you don't think they're going to finish those drives?
Well, they had, like I said, even the non-scoring one. I think that had that ref not thrown that flag, which was, again, there was no way.
Our middle is the worst in the National Football League. Our defensive line is, I think, a little bit better than last year, but that's saying something through 2 games. I want to see what they do against a better offensive line next week.
I don't think it's much of an upgrade. And again, here's the thing.
The only reason I say it's a little bit of an upgrade is one guy only, and that's DJ Jones, because DJ Jones is a wrecking ball in that middle of the defense. When he,
It's
dude,
lifting up Draymond Jones. He's lifting up Draymond Jones. Could you imagine instead of Draymond Jones, just imagine if we would have got, who did you want?
oh, in the draft or this
Yeah,
free?
in the draft. Who did you want?
Oh, Jordan Davis.
Who's an upgrade to Draymond Jones, right?
Yeah, but we want to pay Draymond $20 million a year. I'm waiting for that one. I am waiting for that one and see the crap selling that's going to be behind too. But
Well,
go ahead.
Well, I'm hoping that with Elway out, we don't see that kind of shit anymore. I'm hoping, but they're in yeah again. It's the Elway stench. If we could just start getting that Elway stench out of there and start doing things the smart way,
there's still Elway people in the
I know.
organization.
And who's going to end up being the first casualty? Who did I say? And before the season, I said the very first casualty.
Hackett.
Go back and listen to what I said with my Russell Wilson, my single Russell Wilson take. I said what the title was, the Russell Wilson nail in the Denver Bronco coffin. And it's just funny how this just it everything comes to fruition.
Well, are we surprised?
No. I mean, we have
are me and you and the few other.
Yes. We own the penthouse. We own the penthouse. The rest of them are down there, it's excuse making, turd polishing, just bad information, really bad information, just never ending.
You know the difference between someone that knows football and someone that doesn't. You know the difference between a guy that actually takes football in terms of film centric seriously and the guy that just uses and people that use bullshit and turd polishing and all the above. You know the difference because, again, we were told how wrong we are. We're going to go in and destroy the Texans, right? We heard that all week, right? We heard that all week.
Well,
go in there.
Are they going to embarrass us again? Are they going to pound their chest and talk about how they're going to destroy San Francisco?
We're going to go in and show the Raiders. Okay.
Is this in San Francisco? Where's the San?
Keep talking. Keep talking. I'll look it up. I have my computer here.
Well, I think it's here. I think the game is.
And keep talking so I can find it.
Okay. Anyway, I don't know what to say when I'm told to just keep talking, and I know everybody else already knows what the answer is. So, at any rate,
it's at Broncos. Yep, you're right.
That's what. So I don't want to hear the embarrassment anymore about, can we just leave these other teams alone, stop riling them up? I mean, have we learned that lesson? I mean, the turd polishers can't get nothing right. Please just stop causing trouble.
Well, like me and you, this will shock folks. Me and you don't even get mad. We're just like, yep, this happened. Yep, we saw this happening. Yep, we saw. Wait for this. I could tell you guys. What did I say? I was talking to you. I said they're doing a 6 wide receiver set. What did I say they were going to do to Surtain? They're going to do an underneath route, right? The ball that one guy caught it on that first down run. I said, look, they're going to throw it right at Patrick Surtain because I watch film and I know exactly where they're going. Okay, what did I say? What did I say in the end zone? What did I say in the red zone? Using their tight ends. What do they start doing? Using their tight ends. I said, look for O.J. Howard on a seam route. And if that ball was a little bit higher, O.J. Howard would have a touchdown in this game.
It was just a little bit higher.
It was, and I said, watch for that seam route, and look what happened. So,
yeah, what I don't understand is why did they get away from utilizing those tight ends? Why would you?
And then then that's where that offense coordinator needs to be fired, because if you can't, dude, we saw in the fourth quarter they were running the football, right, the Texans, and it flowed so well, and then you have the Denver Broncos running the football, it flowed so well, and then you were telling me, and I noticed this too, What happened when they went in the red zone? What kind of ball did they play? Shermer ball.
I know.
Just, I'm like, dude, if you stuck Devontae, I know. It's frustrating. It is frustrating because I have the Chiefs. Did the Chiefs do a bunch of talking in the offseason?
No.
No, they're just showing it on the field. And look, that Chiefs team looks a lot better than it has been over the past 2-3 years.
Oh, the Chargers look good too. Even though they lost, they look really good.
Oh, their defense look good. Wait till we play that. Sheldon Joseph Day, he sucks.
Well, wait till they face that offense. What do you think? The defense, wait till they face that offense.
Yeah.
They've revamped that offensive line. It ain't the old Chargers offensive line anymore.
Yeah. Slater, oh, he sucks.
Yeah, of course. Well, we don't invest in offense. Everybody else that's good does, but not.
You know what happens when you don't invest in offensive line late in this game? The Denver Broncos collapsed under pressure. You saw false starts. You got holding calls. You got Garrett Bowles getting beat off the edge again. You had interior pressure right into Lloyd Cushenberry. So it doesn't surprise me that when you don't invest into your offensive line, you're going to make a quarterback look like that running around for his life.
Well, I want to talk about that because this team really is not a very good pass rushing team, and our offensive line made them look like a good pass rushing team. I thought they looked better pass rushing than the Broncos did, and they're not even.
I agree.
They're not a pass rushing team. That's
the Houston Texans were more consistent in their pass rushing unit. The Denver Broncos were inconsistent. That's the difference.
Yeah, but very inconsistent, I would say. I mean, I think if you took the most of the game, it'd be almost like 3.5 quarters. I mean, he'd had War and Peace again.
We saw that. We've seen that for how many years?
But, again, for them, the success was them running the football. Then
I know, and they went away from it.
But so did the Broncos. I just don't get it.
I know.
It's not that hard to figure out.
Of course it's not hard to figure out. They did. You know what it is? I think offense coordinators can't help themselves. They overthink shit. Instead of sticking to a game plan that actually works. You saw Seattle. Yes, they didn't use tight ends, but they were still attacking the middle of the field throughout that game, right?
Yeah.
You running the ball late in the game, and I said, this is the recipe on how to beat the Broncos defense. It wasn't hard to figure out because I said that this year. And I said the Broncos was their running game.
So somebody is going to stick to it.
Oh, I think that's going to be San Francisco because they are a run-centric team. They are not a pass-centric team. They are a run-centric team. Go ahead.
Yes, stick to attacking the middle of that field, especially with tight ends. Attack K. Williams, attack him. Attack that linebacking core and just be relentless about it. Run the ball in multiple ways, in multiple creative ways. Run the football, and then attack them in the middle. The Broncos have no answer for that. Once one team figures out they're not going to get away from that, and they just destroy that defense, then they'll finally the other offensive coordinators that have their head up their ass. Oh, okay, that's well, it's obvious. Yeah. When that happens, I'm going to say right now, the offense has got to be the best defense for that team by staying on the field, and I think they can with the player personnel, but they have to be smart about it.
Where's James?
He's hidden again. This is supposed to be the best coaching staff in the world.
Top 3 defense, right? We are told a top 3 defense.
Well, if you look at scoring, they're probably up there because the teams that they played, didn't finish it up, didn't finish the job, didn't follow through.
Yeah, but I don't look at scoring defense. Like, it's much bigger than.
That's what I'm saying. That's all they have. That's the only. They're hanging on, hanging on by a thread, by hanging on to that.
All the turd polishers are doing this.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That's the turd they're polishing. See,
he's hurt again. I just, God.
I was going to ask. I never asked you this. What about all these injuries that they're racking up again? Another year of that.
Another year of that, right?
Yeah.
I'm not shocked.
I'm convinced that I'm convinced after, you played and I've played. I think you have to take hits getting into a season just as a part of normal conditioning. If you're afraid, in this age of contracts, as when we didn't have contracts, me and you, but
All these princess contracts.
all these contracts, everybody, I think when you start being afraid that you're going to get hurt, you're going to get hurt. You're setting yourself up.
What did
And
I say? I say the Broncos should have done this preseason.
yeah, played. Yeah, I agree with that. I think they were, hold on, they were too interested in their image.
They're slot.
Let's go back to the preseason. They were too interested in their image. They were too. I don't believe it had to do with not getting people hurt. I think they knew. I think they knew that they would be exposed all the way in the preseason. All this talk they did that's going on right now would have been going on in the preseason. I think they knew.
Of course they knew. That's why they didn't play. You saw the ultimatum of the rifle. We saw this with Buffalo Week. We saw it where the rifles was sat down, pick it up, let's go to war. And what did the Denver Broncos do? They put their tails between their legs, and we were told that, this is only just a preseason game, right? Well, we were just, this is only a preseason game, right?
Can I ask you this?
Go for it.
Am I wrong to say that this corrupt media, these
hair polishers,
this crap media, are they saying don't look at these two games here? Just don't look at them. How come we were never supposed to look at anything? How come we're told don't listen to those people, don't look at this, and just keep coming here, just keep believing the things we keep getting wrong all the time. Just keep coming to us. I don't feel sorry for anybody. No. I don't that goes and listens to that garbage. If you want people to tell you what you want to hear, you get hurt and you're stung and you can't figure and you're confused. You have it all. You earned all that. You earned all that.
Yeah, because me and him put in the hard work and dedication to freaking not tell you that we'll pat ourselves on the back. We know what we're talking about. Whether you people like it. We had a commenter that said, I don't agree with a lot of the stuff, but I do understand where you guys are coming from, and I do have to agree on some of your points. Because you know what? Because we're not fake. We're genuine. We're genuine. There's a difference between being a fake-ass person and a genuine person. And the difference between those two is where you meet in the middle. Okay? Me and him understand football. Me and him understand film. Me and him want to elevate this so people can utilize it as a tool. We want the Denver Broncos to be good. But I'm not going to sit here and tell you that everything is so sunshine and rainbows on the other side of the rainbow and going up your butthole. It's not going to happen. I'm not going to do that here. I was brought on this channel for a reason, because of my objectivity and my truthfulness. You want to see, I'm not going to say it. You want to talk about a person being feared? Look at my track record. That's all I got to say on that. Look at my track record. How many times I've been shadow banned?
Outright ban. You're over. The World War II saying you're over the target when they give you all the flack, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Yeah, we're about trying to make this team better, is what we're trying to do, and that's why we evaluate. That's why we evaluate. That's why we say no. This player isn't good enough. I mean, look at Surtain. This whole Surtain thing is starting to go down the tubes.
Oh, am I shocked?
No,
it's a chance. Get off of that. He's okay. No champion.
Hold on a second. Another Elway pick. What was it? Let's go back. Fangio said, who did Fangio want? It wasn't him. Who did Fangio?
David Collins. Zaven Collins.
Well, he had called up Zaven Collins. Yeah.
He wanted him.
And Zaven Collins came through in a game, didn't he? Against the Raiders, didn't he? Yeah. Yeah.
Him and Isaiah.
Yeah.
Rashawn Slater. Is that ding, 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 ding.
So anyway, so what I'm trying to get at is that we try to offer solutions. We've been trying to offer solutions, and we're attacked, and attacked. And all we are is trying to offer solutions, but you have to realize you have a problem before, and you have to be able to diagnose the problem before you can come up with a solution to fix it. So that's what this has always been about.
You brought up a great point. It's about knowing that you are an alcoholic and admitting that you're an alcoholic. That's the perfect example that you can give, because I swear this whole thing with Nathaniel Hackett is just a revolving door like we saw with Joseph and what we saw with Fangio. It is a revolving door of media hype.
Wash, rinse,
repeat.
Wash, rinse,
repeat.
Wash, rinse,
repeat.
That's all these fans know because of the media. That could be the only. This is the team is. It's just you're not a Super Bowl contender.
You're not. No. You're a bottom. You're a muddling the middle team.
Muddling middle. You're a muddling middle team.
That's it. Because if you were a Super Bowl type contender, you would have destroyed this team. You would have stuck to your identity. The Buffalo Bills have an identity. The Kansas City Chiefs have an identity. The Pittsburgh Steelers have an identity. The Baltimore Ravens have an identity. The Miami Dolphins now have an identity. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers have an identity. Who else? The Chargers now are starting to get an identity, even though they lost.
Detroit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Detroit. Yeah. Yep.
Detroit.
Philly.
Yeah.
God.
Well, here, listen to this. This is the identity. The identity for 6 years has been Band-Aids, quick fixes, tear down what really works, and tell everybody we're a quarterback away.
Does it honestly surprise you, though? Does it honestly surprise you that they went to Shermer Ball? Really? Does it really surprise you? Yeah, no, because we knew I knew this would happen.
Now, I'll tell you this. I'll say this. I can live with once in a while it pops up. That's different.
Yes. Go ahead.
And again, we're just saying the same thing over again. Their successful running led to Russell Wilson working the pocket. You see him; he was actually working. He was staying in the pocket, working it. That's where he does his magic.
But then they had him.
Hold on. Hitting Cortland Sutton on the big plays after it was all set up.
Yes.
That's the identity.
That is the identity, but they refuse to stick with it. That is what that is called this is an unstable organization. This is because I don't believe the organization believes that they want that identity. They want the John Elway stench identity still. That is still running in that organization rampant. Okay. When you talk about this team, and yeah, we're going to repeat ourselves, you don't understand what a running game can do for your offense. Oh, a pass. You don't have the player personnel like the Chiefs do, like the Bills do, like the Buccaneers do. They have an identity. But the Denver Broncos, they're an inconsistent team. Why are they so inconsistent? Player personnel that doesn't fit a system. They're all over the place on player personnel. When they do something right, they manage to fuck it up the next game, or they manage to fuck it up throughout the game, and they would rather go back to their old ways and do Shermer Ball. And I knew the minute they started that game. I told you this. I said the minute they started the game, I'm like, hey, here comes Shermer Ball. I told you this. I said this. Here comes Shermer Ball, and it played out like a fucking tee for 3 quarters.
Okay, here I should answer something.
Go for it.
Let's give the toxic fans what they want. Though it's fire. So let's say, okay, we fire Hackett. Okay, who are they going to bring in, and what system are they going to demand that unfortunate?
I got a name.
They demand that poor individual. What system do they want him to run? Go for it.
Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy would be their guy.
Okay, what system is he going to? Their demand that he run.
Kansas City offense, 20+ yards, because he comes from that tree, just like Shermer.
And the problem, and what is the problem with doing that? Explain the problem with doing that.
The problem with doing that is you don't have the player personnel to run that offense. You don't. Our offensive line is going to hold up for 5 seconds, right? Okay.
Okay, so what did Kansas City do before they gave Mahomes all that money? What did they do? To explain that one.
Here we go again. Went after Orlando. They traded for Orlando Brown. Went out and got Joe Thuney, one of the best guards from the Patriot system. Drafted Creed Humphrey in the second round, who I wanted to replace Lloyd Cushenberry, but I don't know what I'm talking about. Trey Smith, the 6th-round pick from Tennessee, one of the very good up-and-coming guard, but he sucks. And then they got a right tackle who is he's like your Jared Veldier, but he's going to look good next to those 4 other guys. So I mean, it doesn't matter. They have a system. They have a developmental system in those organizations. The Denver Broncos just hype up Justin Simmons. Oh, I pulled my hamstring for walking up to the podium.
If he didn't get outright, if he didn't get outright benched. Now wait a minute.
If he didn't get out.
Now hold on. I want to go back to Kansas City. How long have they been doing this development thing? How long?
Since 20. When did Reed come in? 2011, 2012 range, right in there.
Since 2012.
Correct, somewhere in there.
Now that really predates Mahomes, doesn't it?
Of course, it predates Mahomes. We saw the building when they got Alex Smith. Come on, he just dropped.
Yeah.
Bills. Yeah. Bills. The Bills did the same thing. Oh no,
it's all Josh Allen. Now these unfortunately the Elway has built this media machine to completely. I mean, look at what the desk at CBS was saying. The halftime desk, all the wrong things to do, all the wrong things, and then finally, guess what they did? They did what we said to do. They score a touchdown.
To who? To who?
To who? Oh, they call you the freeze. I think I may be frozen. Oh, crap. I think we lost it. I'm going, but I'm not.
No, okay. You're here. Yeah,
that was a big freeze.
Back again.
God, that was a big freeze right there. Yeah, where I'm doing this isn't the best.
No. We're the best. We're the best at what we do because we have this great technical era that we live in. I mean, we're not living in our mother's basements. We have this high def quality type platform that we do on ThemeTube. So we're just, my God, dude, we get paid for that. I'm getting ready to, go eat a big old steak at John Elway's Steakhouse in Denver. I mean, my God, dude, I'm getting paid all this money. Cecil Lamby, come on, let's go.
Hey, I gotta hold the phone up so I can get that reception. I think I'd be better off. Yeah, I'd be better doing this on the roof, I think, than here.
You might touch ET. You might be able to touch ET while you're up there.
Yeah. Used to be I could wait till Monday to do this, but I'm working on Mondays now. So anyway, yeah, I know. Yeah. You'll see.
Okay, counting down the days till week 1. Where are you? Oh,
Yeah, they really showed us, didn't they?
I actually have one question for you, good sir.
Yeah. Go ahead.
What have we seen through the first 2 weeks of the season so far that we've talked about time and time again? What have the teams have won? What has been the one common thread with them?
The team's winning. They've been around for a while. Number one.
What did they do this?
Say it again.
What did they do this preseason?
They played starters.
They have better.
Yeah, I think that yeah, well, it's the NFL cutting their nose off to spite their face, and I'm not sure if the Players Association has a hand.
You saw Walton there. He'll give you $1 billion for just saying how great we are.
Yeah.
Who? I was surprised he was there. I thought he'd be in his Walmart headquarters with Klaus Schwab.
Schwab. Yes, he's Schwab. Probably looking at investing in insects or something. Schwab. All right, so that'll get us banned. You don't talk about your global masters that way, whatever you do.
And it's on I've been banned, so it's all good.
Yeah, I feel like this is the sketchiest broadcast we've ever done. Just
also the most trustworthy broadcast. But we get paid.
So anyway, So anyway, let's just discuss where we're going. So perhaps Wednesday we can we'll have a film review and reviewing this game, and then going into the film on San Francisco, and we'll kind of have what we did in the last pregame. Sweep up this one, clean it up, and then move on to the 49ers, the new and improved 49ers with their minus Trey Lance. Yeah. There's another there you go. There's our sports writers, Trey Lance. Did you get Trey Lance? Yeah, I'll take Jimmy G.
I will too.
And you're gonna get it. It's coming to town.
Oh yeah, it's coming to town. You're gonna get a team that actually is gonna stick to its identity on offense. So good luck, Denver.
Yeah, this is gonna be a tough one. That's for sure.
It is. From what we've seen the first 2 weeks, in the preseason. You know, I actually hope this happens, because maybe they'll get it through their head, but they won't, that they need to move Baron Browning in the middle, because this whole experiment with him at the fucking edge isn't working still.
Well, I know where it works is when he moves, when he's rushing a quarterback. Yeah, I would rather see him in coverage. Well, so far we haven't really needed him so much in coverage, because they get away from it, even though it's very successful. I've yet to figure that out, but
Ezra, great defense coordinator, right? Oh my God, he's better than Fangio. He's better than Wade Phillips. He's better. Oh man, he is a top flight in waiting defense coordinator. Yeah, a la Joe Woods.
Yeah, you got Joe Woods. So
yeah, I know.
Yeah, when they bring Browning up through the middle, it's that's when he does really good. But what do we know?
No, we don't know anything. So
I know. All right, let's end this pirate bot podcast that's breaking up half the time, and we will have a nice, clean podcast on Wednesday.
Sounds good.
We'll bring in all the tech gurus. They'll come in, and
maybe we can give a call to our guy John Elway in Dove Valley. He can send his media crew out here and help us move forward into our next adventures to get that 1K subscriber base.
No, it's important. It's important to do that. You will be able to eat, wings and mac and cheese?
Yeah.
Wings and mac and cheese, but don't forget he's going to drop the scripts off. We'll have to read the scripts.
Yeah. I'll just be waiting for them at my desk in my kitchen over here. So.
Yeah, I apologize. I think this could have been a little bit better on our end, but because all the, this transmission is not coming to you.
Sometimes fun.
What's that?
Sometimes you have to have a little bit of fun. We even went through bad technical Mr. Freeze difficulties.
Yeah, I'm not having fun when we're freezing. I don't think I'm going to like these Sunday broadcasts if they're going to be all choppy like this. It is what it is. I guess it's kind of par for the course for the Broncos. They're a little choppy, right? A little choppy.
Sure, you could say it like that.
All right. So say long, I guess.
I guess.
I'll see you on the when after I got to look at film anyway. I wanted to look at film.
You down the block. We'll meet up and have some ribs and mac and cheese at John Elway's Steakhouse.
To pick up some scripts and
Yeah.
try to rehearse those.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Not nothing doing. Nothing doing. I'm telling you. I ain't gonna do it. I'll see you.
Yeah.
Bye.